While I was in high school, my sophomore year, my dad encouraged me to take one of the extracurricular programs they had going on there. From the very first day that I walked in, the subject matter just kind of clicked in my head, and it made sense to me. I could see very early on how flexible it was and what it would be capable of. At first, I never thought of computer science as a career. It was a course I was taking at school that I had a lot of fun with. I pushed it towards games very early and created just very simple text-based games. I found that the format of school where they give you a project to work towards was very helpful with computer science. I mean, you could read the subject for the first time and say, okay, well, this is how I program. That sounds simple enough. But until you really dig in there and start experimenting with things and see this works, this doesn't, experimentation was probably my biggest learning tool, but the classes that I had gave me a great format to push me into experimenting. I started my business with my roommate. We kind of toyed with the idea for a bit, but didn't really think it that seriously. We found our first client a lot quicker than we expected to. There was a flyer around school, and once we met him in person, it was a real contract. Once we talked to them, we realized that we had to actually make this a business as opposed to just we're working together and we're doing things. They wanted to pay us money to do stuff. We needed a bank account in order to accept their money and do the project, and we needed business cards, and we needed all of this stuff that goes along with creating a business. I think it's a little unusual how it all came together because we really had a client before we had our business set up. Okay, with AA we did 3 major projects. We started just playing around with it, getting something to appear on the Xbox, and the first actual project we came out with was From Space. It's an old style arcade-like space shooter. I really enjoy the fact that there's 3 different races that are very unique. There's a space snail who's very brutish. Then there's the complete opposite, the incredibly fragile but super fast and quick guy, the saucer. The third is the junker ships. Their special thing is a shield that regenerates over time, just kind of their junk floating around them in space that people hit instead of them. When I started my own business and working through it, I occasionally thought of, oh yeah, this could be good for my resume, but I never thought of the business being like a huge chunk of my resume. But as I started looking for a full-time job, I realized that it was huge. I'd been introduced to databases, to networking, to all of these different huge aspects of computer programming.